Hello, welcome to Yoga with Rach. I'm Rach, thank you for joining me. I'm currently away, staying in London just for a weekend. I'm getting to go away to attend a couple of workshops, and I thought as I'm out of the studio, I would take you guys out of the studio with me and have a go with yoga anywhere else other than our yoga mat. So the main thing that's obviously available to me in a very tiny hotel room that I'm staying in this evening is the bed. The beauty with staying in a hotel is that you have lots of spare pillows. So as you can see, I've actually laid up a load of pillows, and I'm going to move into a lovely reclined bound angle pose. So feel free to pause the video, grab as many pillows, cushions or bolsters if you have them available, and then we're going to come down to have a little bit of a restorative practice. We're going to come into a slightly supported reclining bound angle, so we're not going to be completely flat on our back, so we want to be slightly elevated. So as you can see, I've used 3 pillows and propped up against the headboard, and then I've got a pillow which I'm going to place underneath my knees. So you might be using a couple of bolsters, or you might have a bolster and a block being propped up here. You might then have a bolster underneath the legs. You might have a couple of pillows or cushions or blankets or even blocks propped up underneath the knees. So getting comfy, and you might be doing this on your bed, you might be doing this on your yoga mat. And we're going to come all the way down to lying, dropping the knees wide so the outer knees are supported by the pillow or the bolster or blanket or cushions or blocks. Bringing the soles of the feet together, hands can rest onto the belly. You're gently tucking the chin to chest. Just take a few moments to land. Closing the eyes, and just allow yourself to relax completely into the pose. Starting to invite a bit of movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers, the toes, and stretching the arms, the legs. Taking your time as you lift out of the pose. And we can leave the pillow or whatever prop you've used underneath the legs. So we've just had to go with a reclined bound ankle pose, so we can come into a forward fold over the legs in the butterfly or bound angle fold. So the props that you've got behind you, you can then prop up in front of you. So you've got the support underneath the knees, and just make this as supportive as possible. So you might have a little wiggle around on the tailbone, lifting up nice and tall, so we're moving forward from the hips, just starting to round the spine ever so slightly because we're not straining. As you can see, I've got the two pillows here to prop me up. And as I fold forward, first pillow starting to catch the chest, and then either resting on the chin or just looking over one shoulder and letting the arms relax. So remember, there's no strain, you're not pulling into the pose, just relaxing into it. If you're looking over one shoulder, lifting your head, turning to look over the other shoulder, just making sure you're stretching, releasing both sides of the neck. Inviting movement to get into the fingers, the toes, gently and very slowly finding your way back up to sitting. So just placing pillows, bolsters, blankets to one side. And we're going to move into a supported child's pose. So again, we can use as many props as we've got available, maybe any out of the way that we don't need. So we might use one pillow. I think I'm going to use at least two. And taking the knees nice and wide, we can start to pull the pillows in, or we might be using blankets or bolster or cushions. So we've got the knees nice and wide, so again it allows the back to round a bit more, which can help to release the back as we fold forward into this pose. Just gently lowering all the way down and being completely supported by the pillows or the bolster. Find what feels comfortable for you for the arms. And almost feel as though your body's melting or sinking into the prop. Knowing that you don't have to hold yourself into a pose. out of child's pose. And then our last pose for this practice is going to be my favourite one. This one I always do whenever I travel, which is legs up the wall pose. Obviously this one's going to be interesting because there's more photo frame than wall or headboard here, so wherever you are, do just be nice. If you are doing this on your bed, you've got a nice wall space or big headboard, then it does make this really nice. And I'm going to have myself slightly propped up, so I'm going to have one pillow behind me underneath the spine. So I'm just going to pop this one out of the way, and I'm going to see if it feels comfortable to have one underneath the tailbone. So have a play with this when you're at home, see what feels more accessible for you. So you could prop a pillow behind us, so as we lift up to roll, the pillow's now underneath the tailbone, and just gently placing the legs against the wall. I've just propped my head up a little bit to make sure I'm lying on the back of the head rather than dropping the head back. Just placing hands onto the belly, or they might fall softly away from the hips. Palms facing up so the hands know that they can relax. You might stay here for as long as you like. You may just let the video continue to finish, and pausing here and moving out of the pose when you're ready. When you are ready, just gently drawing the knees into the belly, rolling over onto one side. You might stay here just for a few moments before finding your way back up to sitting. And if you are doing this practice on your bed, you might be travelling yourself and coming to this practice just to allow yourself to reset and ground and then be ready for bed. So thank you for joining me for this evening yoga practice, or practice away from your yoga mat. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. I'll pop a button up here and I'll pop a couple of links here to some of my other videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week back in the studio. Namaste.